Hi and welcome to Karmaspiritus. My name is T. I'm a tarot reader, but not in the traditional way. I more read the energies of the cards that come up in your reading. The energies are not, or the messages are not directly from me. I'm merely the channel for the messages. The messages that you receive, they may be for a message ongoing or something that you just need to hear to support you on your life's journey. Do go ahead and listen to your moon and rising sign. There may be something that you need to hear from those readings as well. They might be strongly aspected in your chart at the moment. Please receive these messages with love and light, and with that I shall then begin your reading. Scorpio, hello. I know your reading last time was quite detailed, to say the least. Quite a strong message, so I'm glad that you're back and you're wanting to hear what's in store for you for August and onwards. So please give me the messages for Scorpio for August and onwards. Please give me the messages that need to be received for Scorpio for this time onwards. I do like to have a few jumpers in this, Scorpio, so please bear with me while I shuffle and get these messages out for you. Right, you have the Ten of Swords upright. There's quite a few cards there. I'll put those back and see what comes out. Another one here. Ten of Coins or Pentacles reversed. Let's see what else pops out. There's loads coming out at the moment. There's so much to say, it seems. Scorpio for August and onwards. Please give me the messages for lovely Scorpio to receive for this time. Right, we have two cards. We have the King of Pentacles and the Five of Wands reversed. Right, as I said, I may not give you the messages that are depicted on the cards. I will read the energy that comes up at the moment. Let me just tune in. I feel quite excited for you in some respects, Scorpio. You've been through a lot. I know you've been through a lot quite recently. The last couple of months have been quite hard. Lots of decisions to make, lots of, shall we say, accusations, confrontations and disagreements, arguments with people. Some of it has been over money, I know that. But I think also there's been a lot going on within your thoughts in regards to other people and finances, etc. There's been a lot of issues within relationships for Scorpios around this time, whether they be family or intimate relationships, just relationships in general, and trying to communicate. We're in the Mercury retrograde, so that doesn't really help matters at the moment. But I think you're actually coming through. I'm hearing honesty prevails, but we'll get more into your reading. As I said, there's been loads and loads of burdenous situations that have been thrown upon you. Some of them, dear Scorpios, you have they've come during this time because of things that have played out in your life, things that you've done, situations that you've got yourself into. And we all do that. No one's perfect. We all make mistakes. We all choose different paths and make different decisions, and it doesn't mean that they always come out in the way that they should. It appears that you may have been quite concerned about losing a substantial amount of money or property or investment, whether that be in business. Maybe it's a divorce settlement, maybe it's a settlement of separation, and you want to ensure that you are getting the most and the best deal, agreement that you can going forward, as anybody would. Maybe you've lost quite a bit of money at this moment in time, and you're looking at ways in which you can recoup that, strategies of which will benefit you in the long run, or how you can subtract money out of a situation because you need it now. But you don't want to be confrontational. You've had enough of the conflict and the disagreements that have been going on. Or maybe that's something that you need to look at. You need to look at the way that you've been managing this situation, or not managing the situation very well. Maybe it's a time where you're looking at others and you're thinking about how unfair they've been treating you and how much they've wanted to take away from you. But are they just? Is this fair? And for some reason I'm feeling that this time around, Scorpio, part of it you could hold your hand up and say, okay, maybe I haven't dealt with this as fairly and honestly and openly as I could. Maybe there's ways in which I've handled this situation that I could have done better. Maybe if I didn't speak out of turn or just said exactly what was on my mind at that moment in time, things would have turned out differently. So I do feel that you are reflecting on the situation and what it's brought you at this present time. I feel that if you had used your intuition, this is coming to me, if you had used your intuition back then when this situation actually occurred, I think you would have now probably reached a better conclusion. There wouldn't have been so many disputes around this situation. Maybe you wouldn't have lost so much money, or you would have accumulated more money. Maybe that property would have been shared more equally, or you would have got part of it instead of none of it. There's areas of reflection. In some ways, maybe you'd wished you'd been a bit more harsh, or not actually been as considerate as you have been over this time, because now look where it's got you. Maybe it's not put you in a favourable position. But according to who, Scorpio? Is that according to your book? According to the law book? Or maybe that person felt that they had every right to have the money, to have that property, to have that percentage of the business or your income. I do feel you've been going through relationship problems, marital problems, family issues of inheritance. Maybe there's a will that has not been carried out the way in which the person had requested. Maybe there's money owing to you from this agreement, from the will and testament. Maybe there's family members that have been not as cooperative as you would have liked. Or maybe, Scorpio, you have not been as cooperative as you should have been, and now you're realizing that maybe those people are not as bad as you thought they were. Maybe they were not out for your blood, or, you know, wanting to take chunks out of you, or disagree with you in the way that they have. Maybe you need to become more grounded in your approach. Maybe you've been dealing with a fire sign, could be an air sign, Libra, Gemini, Aquarius, Aries, Sagittarius. Maybe you need to step back from all the conflict, all the issues that you've been having, all the arguments and disputes, and have a look at your part. Maybe you can save yourself the loss. Maybe there's an earth sign that could support you and team up with you. So that's Taurus, Capricorn, Virgo. Maybe there's someone that could support you within this situation that you haven't reached out to. Maybe that partnership you're in is with an earth sign. Maybe you're subtracting money from a situation and they have no idea. And you know it's going to cause arguments. There's something hidden. There's finances that you haven't declared. And it's worrying you. You really don't know who is going to find out, when they find out. Is there going to be a major amount of problems? Will the law come down on you and start looking further into your accounts? Maybe these are the things that are worrying you. Maybe you have not declared all the money that you have. And maybe that tax man is cleverer than you think. Maybe your accountant, who's an earth sign, hasn't really accounted for all your expenses. Maybe there's details you need to look at. Maybe you need to find a different accountant. Maybe you're losing money because of the way this person is dealing with your account. Either way, there appears to be some form of loss, or the possibility of some form of loss. So what do you do, Scorpio? Are you going to declare everything before it's too late? Are you just going to give that person what they're due? Are you now going to give up your right to that property and just leave them to it? Are you just going to invest with the rest of them? Maybe you don't need to be in any disputes with them. Maybe what they're doing is right for you. And now you've just started to see that if you take your money from these people, then you may be at a loss. And this is going to cause more of a burden on you. Financially, your stability is not going to be what it is. Maybe you need to think wisely. Start thinking like the King of Pentacles. Be grounded, be secure. Secure your finances. Find the right person to support you and educate you on what to do in regards to this money, this property, this business, so you are not at a loss. I think it's time to seek professional help, support and guidance, so you know where you stand and you don't have to be in any disputes with these people, these family members, these customers, people who have shares in the business. It's time to be wise. You've had a lot and still have a lot on your mind, and it's weighing you down. So instead of having this loss, and if you've lost this already, maybe what you have now is to seek guidance before there's more conflict and more situations that you have to deal with because of these decisions that you've made that are not just. They were not the right decisions for you to make. Maybe you need to seek advice from this King of Pentacles, this earth sign, as I said, Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo. So your family doesn't lose out. That you have harmony and peace within this separation. Maybe you're departing from this group of people, but you actually need to think wisely about what it is you want to do. Maybe you need to seek advice on the money and the prospects of this money within this team, this group, this family. Seek advice. What are the possibilities? On your own, with all these swords in your back, because these people are not looking out for you, or you've been betrayed so badly in the past. That you require peace in your life now. And you need someone, or you need to be fair, just, honest, provide that income for these people that you still want to be harmonious with. If it's your family, they are your family. So in order to create peace, you may need to lose a bit or share some, more than you wanted to. But peace and harmony can be so much more. You'll be so much more abundant and respected. If you take this money, are you going to lose it? Are you going to seek a financial advisor and ask them to support you with making this money work for you in harmony with your life and your financial situation? There's lots of scenarios here. Scorpio. I just want to pull one more card. Tell me about the... Oh, it's already here. Three of Pentacles. So this also can be about seeking advice, paying attention to the details. Make sure you find somebody who is skilled in their job to support you in making decisions about this situation. Don't cut corners. Maybe you'll have to pay out a bit of money to this person so you have the correct legal advice. They have the skill to support you in this situation, which is what I was saying before. Maybe you don't need to be so disharmonious with these people. Maybe you don't need to be in conflict, because somebody of their own profession who knows exactly what they're doing, who are qualified to support you in your time of need and financial dilemma. Then you won't have to feel like this. You're battling, if you know, maybe you're battling to and fro. You don't know what to do. You're having sleepless nights. You don't know who's against you. You don't know who's for you. You don't know whether these people are going to stab you in the back because you haven't sought legal advice and gone about it the right way. Why? What are you holding on to? I feel as though you're trying to hold on to every bit of money, and even, you know, even if it's not rightly yours, in terms of having to share it out, to divide the property, the business. Divide it between the family that you're leaving. Maybe that's your concerns, that you're going to lose so much money because of this divorce settlement, this long-standing partnership you've been in, and the property you presently reside in, or that you have with this partner. I think you're realizing now that harmony is key to this situation. You've been through enough, Scorpio. There's been lots of stress. There's been lots. You don't know who to trust. You are at the point where, you know, you're very secretive as it is, but now you just can't say anything to anybody. And when they say something along those lines of which you are not willing to hear, it's no go for you. And that's when you're not in harmony with yourself and with the situation. So let's see. I just need to tell you what I'm hearing. I'm hearing you're playing the field. I remember your last reading, actually, you were out in the park trying to win in everyone's team and not sticking to one thing. Scorpio, there's been so many, I was going to say too many, times in the past where you've decided what you say goes. And I feel very much like the last reading. So this means to me is that there's parts of you, elements within you that are not listening because you do think you know best and you're not willing to listen to others. But you're realizing how many enemies this could or has brought you, even in your past. How many situations I can see you now running from house to house. You know, you live down a street. There's so many children living on this street. You go and play with whoever you feel like at whatever time, because there's aspects of this street that is quite divided in terms of the people that live there, the children that play, the groups that they play in. But you've managed to work your way from one end of the street to the other. On a Sunday, you play with this person because their mum cooks a mean roast. Monday, Tuesday, it's boring in your house, so you go down to your friend that's got the sweets, they've got the nice sausages that are on the fire when they get home. I mean, that's their treat before they have their dinner. You want some of that. So you know at 4:15 those sausages are cooked, and you make sure you're there at least 10 past. Scorpio, you're always late, but at the right times, you're right there. At the right moment and the right time. There's also people on your end of the street that, you know, I think at this point you realise that you've sort of exhausted some of your avenues. You know, you've upset quite a few of them. You've taken away quite a few of their toys. They're in your house and you play with them when you want to. Those are the ones you don't bring out. Your mum's still asking you where you got them from, and you're giving her all loads of excuses, but she can't be bothered to even find out. You're telling her there's someone's down the road and they haven't come to collect them yet, or you won them because you went to a fair. She's telling you they don't look new. You're saying that you don't know if they're new. It's all over the place. Maybe that's what they did at the fair. Maybe they had other people's toys. Maybe they handled them a bit rough. You're full of them. You're full of excuses. So you've got children that you play with and consider your friends, and you've got their toys inside your house. that you're not giving back. Your argument to that is that, you know, they've got a new one already, so you don't need to give the one that you've got back. Even though you know deep down the reason why they went to get a new one is because you took the last one. Then you've got the children in the next section beside your usual territory, who don't quite know you as much as the others do. You make a guest appearance every, 2 to 3 days or so. Give them your happy smile, the best face. But even they're getting worn out by how you treat them. You snatch their toys, you want to play with them. And every now and again you feel a little bit sorry for them and you actually give them their toy back, or don't take them at the time that you really did feel like you wanted to play with it. But you're getting sharp and you're getting a bit angry and annoyed with them. I know you're all just children, but Scorpio, those toys aren't yours. So they're getting a little bit, fed up with the situation, but they're still your friends. You're a nice person and can be quite kind-hearted. So, they're glad to see you. It's every couple of days, so they're okay with you. The next set of children, you don't see at school. They go to a different school, round the corner from the house, but not your school. So to yourself, you can present them with a whole different personality, give them a different opinion of you, and make them feel like you're actually doing them a favour by being around them, playing with their toys, telling them really how nice they are, and if you had one, what you would do with it. But you've been so nice that they've allowed you to borrow that toy. And each time you visit them, you more or less borrow something else. And it takes ages for you to bring it back. They have to keep reminding you. It's got embarrassing for them. Come on, Scorpio. But they remember all the nice things that you've done and the kindness that you've shown them. So they feel that balances out. And when you go and play with them, they're still happy to see you. So you've got the people at the end of the road. There's not as many children down the bottom end. It's all happening up your end of the road. And they're not quite your cup of tea. Not quite the people that you would hang around with. So when you're really bored and you've exhausted all the other avenues, you'll go down the other end and play with the 2, maybe 3 at the most. But you sit and you watch how kind they are to each other. How much they appreciate each other's company. Their parents are very much involved in the whole network. And you start feeling left out. So, what do we do? Do we play with them and be fair and honest? Do we look around and see, what could I gain from this? These people kind of look a bit naive. Bit of a soft touch. But they're giving you everything. They're telling you you can take their toys home. They're saying to you, I've got another one. You can have that one. But Scorpio, you're looking at the one that they're not giving you, and you want that one. That's the newest one. Oh, Scorpio, really? These people are so kind. They give you drinks, they give you biscuits, they offer you sweets. They've even bought the sweets that you like, so when you come round, they're yours. But no, Scorpio, you want more from this. What you didn't realise is the group next to these children at the end of the road have been actually watching you. So they start talking to the children at the end of the road and joining in with them. Playing together in unity, in harmony. When you visit again, you realise there's a bigger group now. And they're all managing to get along. Even the ones that you would probably take their toys away and not really want to give them back, they're all fine with each other because they don't operate in that way. There's harmony here, and you're feeling a little bit out of place. You're actually feeling a bit guilty. 2 and 3 of them have started talking about the way that you are. But they're laughing. They find it funny. It's part of your character. And they're not taking it as anything. Because their hearts are quite pure. And there's parts of yours that is too. So as you continue to go down the end of the road and these two groups are playing together, your heart has warmed. Has grown to the way they think, to the way they play, to how their personalities are, because you have that in you. There's nothing for you to gain from this situation because you have everything. They're willing to give you anything you want because they see that you're a nice person. They don't see anything else. They don't have agendas. Their parents are giving and loving towards you, towards all the rest of the children as well. There's nothing to gain here. So you go away and you feel a little guilty. You've spoken to somebody up the road and you've told them what's going on down there. But you've told them a little bit of a different story. It doesn't quite go the way that you've interpreted it. What do they call that? Chinese whispers? But your intention, Scorpio, is to make sure that they don't join in together and become as harmonious as the other two groups. You need to divide and conquer in some ways, so you sort of give them a little bit of a story that makes them feel a bit uncomfortable about approaching the whole group of children down there. So that keeps you in control of the second and the first group. But even you've realised now there's nothing for you to gain from this. And whatever you would gain from this is now absolutely free of charge. All it needs from you, Scorpio, is to be harmonious, cooperative. These people are willing to give and be generous to you, not take anything from you. They have no agendas. But look at the work that you did. Look at how you've operated with the whole 4 groups. There's 2 groups that are not quite happy with you. But there's 2 groups here that have had nothing to gain from you. Given to you freely. Unconditional love almost. Friendships. Are you going to join them? Or are you going to continue to try and get whatever you can get out of all these friendships? When people are offering you unconditional love, friendship, harmony, peace, being generous and kind and caring to you. Scorpio, what do you choose? What do you choose? What if you do lose a little bit of money? Might be a lot, might be a property, it might be half a business. But there's abundance in harmony, peace, love, joy. These things are free. You can't give them away, and you can't pay for them. Money, property, business, you've got a good head on your shoulders. You can always accumulate more. But harmony, you can't pay for. Peace, love, good relationships, priceless, Scorpio. You don't need to encourage someone to support you getting more from people that are giving to you anyway. You may have to sacrifice something, but what you're sacrificing is nothing compared to what you will get and receive. Maybe this relationship situation, business partner, organization, maybe this is a karmic situation. Maybe this is something that you need to learn from. Maybe you need to pay out a bit of money to seek professional guidance and support in order to get the best outcome for all. Maybe this is what you're working towards. Maybe this is you. Maybe this is what you're doing now. After losing so much, or potentially going to lose so much, you realise now that harmony and peace, there's nothing like it. You can't pay for it. No one can take that away from you unless you take it away from yourself. You are able, more than able, to do both. And if people are offering you peace and harmony, they're giving to you freely, there's no reason for you to hold back. Because what you give, you will receive. Life has a flow of energy. It's fluid, it changes. And in order to give, you receive, and the flow keeps going. The minute you try to deceive people, or that person is trying to deceive you, those people are trying to take more of a percentage out of the situation than is due to them, karma will come and deal with the situation quite well. Thank you very much. So Scorpio, if this is you, in this situation, there may be a loss, but you know, at the end of the day, you know that there's harmony within your life. You no longer have these burdens, these worries, who's stabbing you in the back. You may be at a loss to some degree, but if you seek some advice on the best way forward that creates peace and harmony, you're a winner. And if this is you and you've learnt this lesson, Scorpio, congratulations. Because I knew this was inside you. Whatever you choose, Scorpio, will be entirely down to you. But I hope you've got something from this reading. And whatever path you take, good luck. I hope it suits you. I hope it brings you peace. I hope it brings you harmony. And I hope you just get the best outcome for you. Okay, Scorpio. Thank you for listening. If you feel that someone else can benefit from this message, please share it with them. Doesn't matter whether they're Scorpio or not. Please ask them, and also you, like, share, subscribe to these messages. These are general readings, so they can pertain to any area of your life. But if you want a personal reading, please contact me on the details below in the description box. And please remember, oh, also, thank you so much. I've had so much support, so much good feedback from people. And I'm glad that these messages are touching people and they're reaching the right people. They can be specific and tailor-made. Sometimes they're not easy to hear. But if you are true to yourself, Scorpio, and anybody else out there, you'll choose the best path for you. And that's all I can ask. That's all Spirit can ask. So until next time, Scorpio, be true. To thyself be true. Take care.